Hi everyone, it's Brittany from Create Your Future, and in today's video we are going to be talking all about time and why it truly does not matter and why it isn't really relevant at all to your manifestations. So before I even get into the video, I just wanted to say that I have not had one client who isn't worried about time, isn't concerned about time. And I totally understand that. But I really want you guys to listen to what we talk about today and understand why it really does not matter. So just want to throw that out there because I know this is a huge thing for people. And you know, you hear it all the time. Time isn't real. Time doesn't exist. Time's an illusion. Time doesn't matter. And like I've said to you guys before with other, LOA statements, I think we hear it so much that we're like, yeah, I know, but we don't actually know. We don't understand why that is the truth. So it's easy to say, yeah, I know time doesn't matter, but it's been this long. I know time doesn't matter, but I want it to happen at this time. I want it to happen within this time period. And again, I totally understand it, but I want you guys to see why that doesn't even make sense when it comes to manifesting. So before I get into my client's success story, I want to talk about something that just happened to me a few days ago, and it ties in perfectly with the whole time thing. So my daughter had a dental appointment a few days ago, and I was planning on her being home from her dad's house within plenty of time to go to the appointment. Her appointment was at 4:15, but they got stuck in traffic on the way home. So I started getting a little bit nervous because I'm like, okay, there's going to be traffic on the way there too. And the way that it works at her dental office is if you don't get there within 10 minutes of your appointment time, meaning once it's the time, if you're 10 minutes late or more, you're getting rescheduled, 100%. And a lot of times there's only one doctor there, so they couldn't even make it work for you if they wanted to. So I was getting a little bit worried about the time, and I was like, okay, let me stop focusing on this. Let me go do something else. I know she'll be here soon. So she got home, and we had to rush right out the door. And of course there was traffic. And like I said, I kept looking at the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we are going to be late. And I just, started panicking a little bit because I'm like, oh, it's such a pain to reschedule. And, letting my logical mind take over, I just started worrying about different things. And I'm like, okay, you know what? No, stop. I know there's traffic. I know it's getting very close on time here, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it in time. Everything's going to work out. I don't have to worry about rescheduling because we have this appointment and we're going to have it done now. So that's what I did. And I was still nervous. I was still rushing, I was still a little bit worried, but I was just like, no, I'm deciding this. We are going to make it work. We're going to figure it out. It'll all work itself out. I don't know how, don't know what's going to happen, how I'm going to get through all these cars and all of that, but I'm deciding right now that it's going to work itself out. So we get there, and it was past 10 minutes. We got there at 4:32. So I'm telling her, hurry, run. We're running up the stairs because the elevator was out of order. And of course, so we get there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't planning on being late. And I didn't even mention this. So while I was realizing we're going to be late for sure, I called the office and I said, I just wanted to let you know we're probably going to be a few minutes late. And the receptionist was like, okay, just realize if it's past 10 minutes, you guys are going to have to reschedule. And there is only one doctor today. So I'm like, okay, all right, thank you. And, then that's when I decided, like, no, this is going to work itself out. So back to being there. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know we're going to have to reschedule. Just let me know what's available. And she was like, oh my gosh, no, you're not going to have to reschedule. You guys made it in time. And I'm like, wait, what time is it? And she goes, it's 4:34. And I'm like, oh, okay. So did there end up being another doctor? And she was like, no, it's the same doctor, just the one doctor, but your appointment isn't even passed yet. It's at 4:45. And I was like, really? Okay, I must have read it wrong. And she was like, oh yes, oh, no worries. Yeah, totally fine. But you guys made it, so no big deal. Just go ahead and sign her in. So I'm signing her in. I sit down. I pull up my phone to text my husband to let him know we made it. And apparently the appointment was at 4:45. And as I'm going to his text, I saw the reminder text from the dentist. And right there, it said 4:15, your appointment time. So I don't know what happened. I don't know why it ended up being 4:45. Doesn't matter. Obviously, I decided that we are going to make it no matter what. I decided we were not going to have to reschedule it. And that's what played out. So this is what I want you guys to understand. Time really does not matter. Time is not linear in the way that you guys think it is. It's not past, present, and future. And you know this from watching my videos. I say it all the time. The only thing that is real is this present moment. Now. There is nothing else. That's all that there is. But the best way I can describe it is let me use this. So I'm sure you guys have all like made a collage before. You've at least seen a collage before. So, it's pictures that you've chosen, and we had to make collages for school a lot, and it would be like the story of my life. And we would have to choose like baby photos of us growing up, and then into our current age, like where we were now. And then we had to do what we wanted to be in the future. So it was all different time periods that you chose photos from, and then you chose like something that would represent you and what you wanted to do with your life career-wise, or whatever, and you choose a picture that would represent who you wanted to be in the future. So when you make a collage, it's tons of photos from different time periods, but it's all in the same place. It's all on this board, and it's all over the place, but they're all together in one place where you can look at it and see. So if you were able to zoom out and look at your reality from a far away view, that's what you would be seeing. You would be seeing you as a baby, you as a child growing up, you as an adult, and future yous, and all of the version of yous, not just your life that you've experienced, but all of the infinite realities, all of the possibilities that exist, right? So all of that, you would be able to see it all in one place. Obviously, we cannot do that physically. We can't zoom out and look at reality, but that's exactly what it would be. So it's not linear in any way. So I really want you guys to understand that. So into my client's success story, she came to me and she was pretty much, done at this point. She was like, I've been manifesting this specific person for 2 years. 2 years. And she's like, I'm embarrassed even to say that out loud, but it's true. And she's like, I've given up over and over and over again, but I, for whatever reason, cannot let this guy go. I keep coming back to him. And she's like, I've been on dates, I've even gotten into like somewhat of a relationship, but none of it was what I wanted. And she was like, I know I could decide different things for these people, but it was just him. I just wanted it with him we had this connection that I cannot explain. And I was like, look, you don't have to explain it to me. I don't need you to give me all of the reasons why you want the thing that you want. You are entitled to whatever it is that you guys want. And no, I am not one of those people that says you can get what you want or something better, because that's what she told me when we first met. She was like, you know, I have worked with several different coaches, and my last coach that I was working with basically told me, you know what, you might just need to accept the fact that this isn't the guy for you, and that, you know, you can get something better than this. You can get something better than him. And she's like, I get that, but it upsets me because I don't want that. I want him. And I totally get that, guys. You can have exactly what you want. It doesn't have to be something different, something better, whatever, at all. You are God of your reality. You are I am. You are the power. You are the source of everything in your life. So of course you can have exactly what you want. Of course you can. So she was like, I am doing everything I can to make this happen, but I'm just really struggling with the time. And she's like, I know time isn't real, but I've been doing this for so long. Like, what's different now? What's going to change now? Why is it going to work now? You know, I don't see this happening for me. And I get it, guys. It can feel really difficult when there's something that you want to experience and it's not happening and you're not seeing it, and you're losing hope, and it's like, maybe I'm doing something wrong, and you go through all that stuff. And I just want you guys to know that, like, I've been there time and time again. So I completely understand, but it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way at all. And I explained to her why time really truly doesn't matter. I explained to her, when she focuses on time, she's choosing to select a reality where time is a factor, and she can't move from that place. If that's what she's focusing on, if that's what she's thinking about, if that's what she's accepting as true for her, then that's going to be her experience. And she was like, yep, that makes sense. I know people always say don't focus on time, but I honestly just thought it was something people said because it would make it more difficult for you. But she was like, but I didn't know why. I didn't know what was happening. And yeah, guys, that's what's happening. When you choose to make time a factor, it's going to be a factor. Not only that, but you know how I've said this before, that it's all just now. It's all just now. So when you say something like, I want this to happen within a month. I want this to happen by November 25th. I want this to happen, you know, in this certain time period. I have a deadline. I have something that I have to do at this time, and I want it to happen then. What you're doing is saying, I am not this person. I don't have this thing. I want it. I want it to happen. I want it to happen in this time period, but it's not. I'm not. And when you do that, guys, all you're doing again is choosing to shift to a reality where that's your story, that's your experience. So it's not going to happen in 2 weeks, because there is no 2 weeks. There's only now. So stop making time dictate what you experience. Like, just stop focusing on time. And obviously, I know in the 3D, we use time, we use it for references. You know, I wouldn't be able to meet for sessions with you guys if we didn't use time. So it has its benefits, but stop using it as anything, a factor, a problem, a circumstance, a condition for your manifestation. Okay? That's all that I'm trying to get across here. So with my client, she was like, okay, I totally get it. I'm like done with worrying about time. I don't care about the time anymore. I'm just over that. But I have all of these issues. And then she went on and told me the whole story about, you know, I haven't spoken to my SP in 2 years now. I don't even know if he lives here anymore. A lot of people have told me he doesn't. You know, I used to be friends with him on social media, but he's deleted his account, either that or he's blocked me. And it's just frustrating to me because while I'm doing all this work, while I'm putting in all this effort, I have no idea what's going on with him. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he's married for all, you know, like I have no clue. And I said, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. Of course you know what's going on. It comes from you. Of course you know where he lives. It comes from you. You decide all of these things. Whatever he's doing is coming from you. It's your assumption, your decision, what you choose to tell about him, what you choose to accept about him. That is what is true. That is what's going on right now. So drop all of that. Drop all of the wondering and what ifs and I wish I knew. You do, because you get to decide that. Okay? So she totally was like, oh my gosh, I'm having a huge light bulb moment right now. This is crazy. I feel like I had to change all of this stuff. I had to like come up with the perfect story and then tell myself that over and over again. No, you can do that if you want to. Sure, you can. But it's not that. It doesn't have to be that. You guys know I tell you this all the time. It's not the techniques, okay? It's you. You're the power. You are the source of all of this. So instead of thinking, well, I'm going to have to do all this stuff, I'm going to have to repeat it over and over again, it's going to take me a long time, you know, let's stop. No, it doesn't. No, it isn't. You get to decide. You get to choose whatever it is that you want to experience. And the way we do that is going to the end. We don't try to figure out how it's all going to work out. We don't try to figure out what this person's thinking, what they're feeling, what they're doing, any of that. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with your end. So go to the end, decide what you want to experience, and that is that. And she was all happy about that. She was like, okay, oh, I feel like I can like breathe. I can take all of this pressure off of myself, and I'm so happy. But I'm still a little bit unsure. I'm still getting kind of, you know, I'm just feeling uncomfortable with choosing my end. And what we came to is she really couldn't see past how this guy was going to contact her. She just couldn't do it. And that's fine. That's fine. So what she did, instead of going to like, we're married, she decided we've been back in contact and we are going on dates. That's what she was comfortable with. And like I tell all of you guys to go to the way end, but do what feels best for you. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. It's all you anyways. So do what you want to do. Okay. So that was her end. That's what she had decided for her end. So again, didn't know how it was going to happen. Didn't know when it was going to happen, but it didn't matter. So what she did was she decided that they were now in contact and that they were going on and enjoying going out on dates. That was it. That was all she did. And she wasn't doing this every single day. She wasn't visualizing it every single day. She wasn't affirming things all the time. She wasn't doing any of that. She just made that decision. And when she was living her life, if, you know, negative thoughts came up, if she was feeling a little anxious, a little uneasy, a little impatient, she let it be. She let it be. She didn't try to change the feelings. She didn't try to label them. She didn't try to change the thoughts or give them some sort of meaning. A lot of you guys will say to me, you know, I've been feeling really impatient. I've been feeling really anxious. I've been having negative thoughts. And it makes me feel like I'm not doing this right. It makes me feel like I'm not in the state. It makes me feel like maybe I haven't assumed enough. Maybe I need to do more. Maybe I need to affirm more. Maybe I need to, do more in our conversations or whatever it is. And guys, that's not it. That's not the problem. When those feelings come in, when those negative thoughts come in, when the 3D is telling you something contradicting to your new assumption or your new decision, it's coming from an old assumption. And yeah, she had been assuming all of these things. She had been assuming, I don't know how this is going to work out. She had been assuming he probably doesn't even live here. She had been assuming maybe he's in a relationship. She had been assuming this was going to be hard. This is pretty much impossible. So all of those thoughts and feelings were coming from that old assumption. So what? It's going to happen. Those things are going to come up. You just don't agree with them. You don't accept them as the truth. You don't identify with them. So it's fine to have them. The thoughts are going to come. You can't stop them from coming. The feelings are going to come. You can't stop that from happening. Just let them be. Let them be. Release the emotions if you need to, but just let them be there, knowing that that's not what you decided. You've changed your assumption. You've chosen something new. So that's what she did. And she even had one experience where a friend, one of her, like, not really close friends, but like an acquaintance more like, was texting her, and she said, yeah, so did you know that, I'm not going to say his name, her SP was living in this, Texas. I can say that. Was living in Texas. And my client does not live in Texas. She lives hours away from there, not even in the same state. So my client was like, no, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, cool. Thanks for letting me know. And she's like, I definitely felt upset for a little bit, spent about 30 minutes being frustrated. And then she was like, and then I just reminded myself that has nothing to do with me anymore. That's irrelevant to who I am now. That's irrelevant to what I've decided. So whatever needs to happen will happen, but that's not going to be my experience. And that's what she did. So fast forward to where she is now. And I'll explain how it all unfolded because I think it's really funny. So she had mentioned to me before where she was like, yeah, I don't know, like, if he's gonna call me or text me. I have no idea why he would do that in the first place, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna decide that we are dating now. We're going on dates. Not even a committed relationship, but she just wanted to be in that dating phase. So that's all she did. That was her assumption. That was what she decided. And she, late at night, had to run to the pharmacy. And while she was there, this guy was there. Her SP was there. And she didn't even see him. He saw her, though. And he tapped her on the shoulder. And he goes, hey, don't I know you? As a joke, because obviously they knew each other. And she turned around and she was like, I was stunned. But she's like, but at the same time, I almost wanted to laugh because she was just like, this is how it's happening right now. Like, this is how it's going to unfold. And she was just like, oh my God, it was so funny to me. And I was like loving every minute of it. So long story short, he told her that he is living in Texas, but he comes back very often because he travels here for work, and he also comes to spend time with his parents who live where my client lives. So he was like, I'm living in Texas because that's where my headquarters is for work, but it's just a temporary thing. I'll be moving back soon. So he's not staying in Texas. He's going to be living where she is. And he asked to exchange numbers, and they've gone on 3 dates now, and it just keeps getting better. Like, he just keeps surprising her more and more the more that they interact with each other. He's just being the exact guy that she had decided he was, And it's all happening so effortlessly. Once she finally let go of this time constraint and like, it has to happen this way, it has to happen in this time period. And all that was doing was pushing it away from her, making it so that, okay, it has to happen in this certain period of time. Well, then you aren't this person. This isn't true for you. So, okay, you're going to have more waiting. You're going to have more time. That's all that it was. That's all that was happening. And she really sees that now. And she's like, oh my gosh, I am so pumped because I have tons of other things I want to manifest. And now I realize I don't have to focus on time. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to let it affect me. And if my mind comes to that, because I know it's going to pop up in your mind. I know the thought's going to pop up. I know you're aware that the 3D isn't what you want it to be. It's there. You let the thought come in. You let the 3D show you that, but you don't accept it. You don't accept it as a problem. You don't accept it as the truth. You don't accept it as, great, well, this is where I am now. No, you go to your decision, your choice, your identity, your state, your assumption, whatever it is that you guys want to call it. It's all the same thing. And you return there. You just keep returning there. That is it. That is it. That's all that you do. So I'm so happy for my client because she had a lot of fun with this. You know, when she came to me, she was not happy whatsoever. She was struggling in lots of areas too. And I think she was really letting this specific manifestation like affect other areas of her life. And she even said to me, like, if I can't manifest this, then how can I expect to manifest bigger things? Like, how can I expect to manifest the money that I want, the house that I want? How can I expect that? And I said, you are the one putting these conditions on yourself. You are the one deciding that it's going to be hard. You're the one who's deciding that this will be more difficult than this, or if I can't do this, how can I do anything? You are choosing all of it. Everything is coming from you. It's coming from within you. It's coming through you. You're the source of everything. You're the cause of everything. You're the only power. Everything is you guys. That's it. And it just takes a decision. Now, again, like I've been saying to you, that doesn't mean you're not allowed to do techniques. That doesn't mean you can't do them. I'm not saying that. But don't do it to make something happen out here. You're not doing it to make something happen. You're doing it to enjoy what is already yours. You're doing it to experience who you already are. That's what the techniques are there for. That's all that is. It's not necessary to manifest something. All that's needed is you making a choice. You deciding, yeah, this is what I want now. This is what I want to experience now. Yep, that's who I am. Yep, that's true for me. That's it. That's it. And then whenever you need to, remind yourself, yep, I've already decided this. Yep, that's true for me. That's it, guys. I'm telling you. And again, you don't have to do it in that way if you don't want to. You can do the techniques. Remember, not to make something happen. Okay, guys, I hope that this video was helpful for you. I really hope that I kind of cleared up the kind of questions or, you know, the hang-ups around time. If you have any more questions about time, leave it in the comments below. I will either answer you, or if it's like kind of too long to answer in a comment, I'll make a video about it. I'll make a short about it, however it works out, but I will make sure to get that answer to you. So thank you so much for being here with me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.